Imagine waking up before dawn, with no running water, no electricity, and no grocery store for miles. Your day will be spent battling brutal weather, tough manual labor, and constant danger, just to keep your family fed and alive. This was everyday life on the 19th century American frontier, a world far harsher than the romantic cowboy tales you've heard. Let us step back in time and discover what it really meant to survive and even thrive in this rugged, unforgiving land. Life on the 19th century American frontier was tough beyond what most of us imagine today. The romanticized tales of cowboys and gold rushes often hide a harsher reality. Mining towns, for example, were chaotic and dangerous places. Miners worked 10 to 12-hour days digging for ore, but rarely made good money. Instead, saloon owners, shopkeepers, and prostitutes often earned more, benefiting from the miners' desperation. These towns were mostly young men with few women or families around. Alcohol consumption was sky-high. Fights and violence were common, and sanitation was terrible. Streets and waterways clogged with human waste and trash created perfect breeding grounds for diseases, like typhoid and cholera. Without banks, miners carried gold dust or sold it at steep discounts to unscrupulous traders, making true fortune elusive. If mining's risks and instability weren't enough, many turned to ranching, a booming industry thanks to high beef demand. But ranching had its own dangers. Starting a ranch took serious money to buy land, livestock, and equipment. Weather was a constant threat. Droughts withered grasslands. Harsh winters froze herds, and disease or predators took their toll. Cowboys, far from the rugged heroes we see in movies, endured grueling 20-hour days on cattle drives, living on beans and salt pork, facing dangers like stampedes, river crossings, and starvation. Most earned only around $30 a month and often died young from injury or illness. For others, farming seemed a steadier option, especially with the Homestead Act offering free land to settlers willing to work it. But 160 acres wasn't always enough, especially in the dry West. Settlers built sod houses, dark, damp shelters made from thick prairie turf that leaked and housed snakes and insects. Breaking the tough prairie soil was backbreaking, sometimes taking a full year just to prepare a few acres. Crops faced constant threats: drought, floods, frost, and destructive swarms of grasshoppers. Isolation wore heavily on families, leading to mental health struggles like prairie madness. Even with a good harvest, farmers battled low crop prices and high transportation costs, controlled by powerful railroads and corporations. Wage labor in frontier towns offered work, but with little security or safety. Factories, mills, and railroads demanded long hours and hazardous conditions. Immigrant and minority workers often faced discrimination, and children as young as 8 worked in dangerous roles. Company towns tied workers to their employers through overpriced goods and pay in company scrip, creating a cycle of debt. Time on the frontier followed nature's rhythms, not strict clocks. People rose at dawn and slept soon after sunset, working from light to dark, especially during planting or harvest. Leisure was simple: storytelling by the fire, card games, or music with fiddles and harmonicas. Holidays and community gatherings were vital breaks from the hard routine. Food was a constant challenge. Hunting was a luxury few could afford regularly, so diets relied on staples like beans, corn, pork, dense but dull and nutritionally incomplete. Fresh fruits and vegetables were seasonal, causing vitamin deficiencies like scurvy. Without refrigeration, families spent hours preserving food by smoking, salting, or pickling, but pests often spoiled supplies. Sugar and coffee were rare treats. Despite limited diets, obesity was uncommon because of constant hard labor, but malnutrition was widespread. Frontier children had little childhood in the modern sense. By age 6 or 7, they were expected to help with chores essential for survival, watching livestock, gathering eggs, or helping in the fields. Boys learned trades by working alongside their fathers, while girls mastered domestic skills like making clothes and preserving food. Children saw harsh realities including birth, death, and violence, growing up fast and without much protection. Education was sparse. Schools, if they existed, were one-room buildings with a single teacher for all ages. Supplies were minimal, discipline strict and often corporal, and schooling seasonal to accommodate farm work. Many children received only the most basic literacy and practical survival skills. Child mortality was devastatingly high, with 1 in 4 children dying before adulthood. Diseases now easily prevented, like measles and whooping cough, claimed many lives. Accidents and malnutrition added to the toll. Families lived with loss as an everyday part of life, a reality hard for modern audiences to grasp. Yet despite all these challenges, frontier families endured with remarkable resilience. They adapted to a world of relentless work, danger, and scarcity, deeply connected to the land and each other. The true pioneers of the West were not just the iconic cowboys, but countless ordinary people whose endurance shaped the future. And while life was brutal, they also witnessed moments of extraordinary beauty, like the stunning night skies free from city lights, revealing a breathtaking Milky Way that few today get to see.